Hey guys, welcome back to Walking with Jesus Daily, day 109. This is the milk section. We're going to go through something interesting today, and it's going to be a good. There it is. It's going to be a good conversation. So let's dig in here right away. I do really mean what I said yesterday about prayer and relationship. I didn't know where that was going. It just was on my heart to say. And it even got me thinking about my own walk and my own relationship. And He is literally the only place that I have peace. Like, I have people around me. I have so much love and so much blessing. And none of it brings me this kind of peace. So anyway. I just wanted to remind you guys that just like what Jesus said, I can do nothing on my own. Well, let me tell you about your life real quick. You are nothing on your own. The only thing that makes anybody anything is the relationship that they have with God. That's it. So I just hope that that's changing in your life and in the life of your family, and that you're just sharing that over and over again, nonstop. So let's dig in today. Luke 6, 1 through 11, Mark 2, 23 through 28, Mark 3, 1 through 6, Matthew 12, 1 through 14. So a lot of reading. So in the milk part, we're just going to read each section. Okay, while I'm reading it, it's going to be the same thing, but not the exact same thing 3 times. This is where we're really listening. Okay, what is standing out? What is speaking to me? What are the questions that I have? I don't want you to go into these studies listening to me and just expecting to be taught something every time. It's for you to desire to learn something. It's not to sit and be fed, but it is to actually be hungering and thirsting for what God is saying to you. Okay? So let's get started here. In Luke 6, 1 through 11, it says, on a Sabbath. Now remember what just happened. We just got done with John, or in John chapter 5, where Jesus is laying it out there about who He is. He's reminding the Pharisees of who He is. Okay? On a Sabbath, while He was going through the grain fields, and forgive me if I misread a word today. I can't see real great this morning. His disciples plucked and ate some heads of grain, rubbing them in their hands. But some of the Pharisees said, why are you doing what is not lawful to do on the Sabbath? Remember, they wanted to kill Him in the previous chapter because of what He was doing on the Sabbath. Okay. And Jesus answered them, have you not read what David did when he was hungry, he and those who were with him? How he entered the house of God and took and ate the bread of the presence, which is not lawful for any but the priests to eat, and also gave it to those with him. And he said to them, the Son of Man is Lord of the Sabbath. On another Sabbath, he entered the synagogue and was teaching, and a man was there whose right hand was withered. And the scribes and the Pharisees watched him to see whether he would heal on the Sabbath, so that they might find a reason to accuse him. But he knew their thoughts, and he said to the man with the withered hand, come and stand here. And he rose and stood there. And Jesus said to them, I ask you, is it lawful on the Sabbath to do good or to do harm, to save life or to destroy it? And after looking around at them all, he said to him, stretch out your hand. And he did so, and his hand was restored. But they were filled with fury and discussed with one another what they might do to Jesus. Because that makes sense, right? We should be filled with fury over joyful that someone has been made well. Okay, moving on. Mark 2:23-28. Don't act like this doesn't sound like some of us, okay? This was me. I know this well. One Sabbath, he was going through the grain fields, and as they made their way, his disciples began to pluck heads of grain. And the Pharisees were saying to him, "Look, why are they doing what is not lawful on the Sabbath?" And he said to them, "Have you never read what David did when he was in need and was hungry, he and those who were with him? How he entered the house of God in the time of Abiathar, the high priest, and ate the bread of the presence, which it is not lawful for any but the priest to eat, and also gave it to those who were with him. And he said to them, the Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath. So the Son of Man is Lord even of the Sabbath." Mark 3:1-6. Again he entered the synagogue, and a man was there with a withered hand. And they watched Jesus to see whether he would heal him on the Sabbath. It kind of feels like bait to me, but whatever. So that they might accuse him. And he said to the man with the withered hand, "Come here." And he said to them, "Is it lawful on the Sabbath to do good or to do harm, to save life or to kill?" But they were silent. And he looked around at them with anger, grieved at their hardness of heart, and said to the man, "Stretch out your hand." He stretched it out, and his hand was restored. The Pharisees went out and immediately held counsel with the Herodians against him, how to destroy him. And clearly there's grounds here for destruction. All right. Last one, Matthew 12:1-14. At that time, Jesus went through the grain fields on the Sabbath. His disciples were hungry, and they began to pluck heads of grain and to eat. But when the Pharisees saw it, they said to him, "Look, your disciples are doing what is not lawful to do on the Sabbath." He said to them, "Have you not read what David did when he was hungry, and those who were with him, how he entered the house of God and ate the bread of the presence, which it was not lawful for him to eat, nor for those who were with him, but only for the priests? Or have you not read in the law how on the Sabbath the priests in the temple profane the Sabbath and are guiltless? I tell you, something greater than the temple is here. And if you had known what this means, I desire mercy and not sacrifice, you would not have condemned the guiltless. For the Son of Man is Lord of the Sabbath." He went on from there and entered their synagogue. And a man was there with a withered hand. And they asked him, "Is it lawful to heal on the Sabbath?" So that they might accuse him. He said to them, "Which one of you who has a sheep, if it falls into a pit on the Sabbath, will not take hold of it and lift it out? Of how much more value is a man than a sheep? So, it is lawful to do good on the Sabbath." Then he said to the man, "Stretch out your hand." And the man stretched it out, and it was restored, healthy like the other. But the Pharisees went out and conspired against him. How? To destroy him. All right, this should be dinging all kinds of questions in your mind. So be thinking of those, pray about it, and I'll see you guys in the meat section.